Every Hollow Knight player has certain charms that they like the most and use the most often. In this video, I'll be going over my top 10 favorite charms in Hollow Knight. These aren't necessarily the ones that I think are the very best, just the ones that I like the most. Number 10, Carefree Melody. Blocking damage in any way can be useful in making sure that you don't take too much at once. I find it especially helpful in fights where damage is doubled, because that's 2 masks that you haven't lost, won't bring you closer to dying, and won't need to be healed back up. When this charm activates is calculated by chance, but I still think it's well worth the gamble. Number 9, Thorns of Agony. I like these for a few reasons. They helped me out a lot when I was new to the game and not as good at avoiding damage. They're legitimately useful in getting off extra hits, especially with their range, and they're just badass. I've heard people criticize this charm because of things like it not giving soul for its hits or the animation taking too long, but those issues can be solved by combining it with other charms. It costs 1 notch for a reason. It's meant to be part of a larger build. Number 8, Spore Shroom. This one is legitimately useful. In most cases, healing is something you're going to be doing anyway, so why not be able to do some damage then, for only 1 extra notch? Chip damage of any kind can really add up if you're strategic about things. I find it more reliable than Defender's Crest, plus I think it's funny to watch husks wander into the spore cloud and stay there long enough that it just kills them. Number 7, Lifeblood Core. Despite the channel name, this isn't my first favorite, but of course it's up there. In fights where you're going to need a lot of health, this is the best choice for increasing it. It doesn't prevent you from healing like Joni's Blessing, and it doesn't cost a fortune to be made unbreakable like Fragile Heart, for example. It is rather arduous to obtain, and Lifeblood masks can't be healed back, but 4 extra masks of health for 3 notches is worth it. Number 6, Quick Focus. Healing and opportunities to do so are important, and anything that can make it easier is good to have on you. For one thing, with this equipped, you'll be less likely to have your heal interrupted and all the soul you were trying to use for that heal wasted. You also may not have to wait for a boss to stagger to get a chance to heal. Definitely worth the 800 geo and 3 notches, and I personally find it a lot more useful on its own than Deep Focus. Number 5, Mark of Pride. The normal range of the Knight's Nail is fine for close combat, but in situations when the arena is large and the enemies move around a lot, this charm can make getting hits in a whole lot easier. The Knight is also smaller than many bosses in the range of their melee attacks, and several enemies and bosses can float or fly, so the extra nail length can really make fights feel more balanced on the Knight's side. Number 4, Shaman Stone. This one is guaranteed to be on just about everyone's top 10 list. A charm that gives your spells a bigger hitbox and increases their damage? Yes, please. Spells are a fantastic way to deal decisive amounts of damage and end battles quicker, and any way to make that effect even greater is very welcome. I'm almost surprised that this one doesn't cost 4 notches and that it's so cheap to buy so early on in the game. Number 3, Grubsong. Another low-cost charm that can be very strategic and is a might-as-well sort of choice. You're almost always going to get hit at least some, and it's not like you're relying on only the soul you get from this charm, you're just letting it add on to the soul you're already getting from your attacks. It has a certain very helpful charm interaction that I'll discuss in a minute. Soul means spells and healing, and any way of getting a little extra is good. Number 2, Sharp Shadow. Yet another thing you're doing anyway, using Shadow Dash, so doing damage with it is just an added bonus. The increased range is good in combat because that's more space to be immune to damage. A lot of enemies and bosses really are just kind of all in your face, like Hive Knight and Traitor Lord, and I've found this charm to be spectacular in those kinds of fights. Plus its manifestation is just badass. Number 1, Weaver Song. As I said earlier, chip damage adds up. This is definitely the best of the helper charms since it doesn't cost soul like Glowing Womb and its attacks are more frequent and accurate than Grimchild's. In fact, this one gives you soul if you have it equipped along with Grubsong. In every situation where I've used both together, I've almost never run out of soul. This combo is like King Soul but for 2 less notches and still usable after getting Void Heart. Plus, it's just nice to give the knight some little friends. What did you think of my list? How does it compare to your list of favorite charms? Let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching this video. Please give it a like if you enjoyed it and subscribe to my channel for more videos on Hollow Knight and other media. I hope you have a great day and I'll see you next time.